The following program is brought to you by Naleo TV, the people's platform. Aloha, and welcome to another episode of Classic Car Chronicles, the story behind the rides. Today, we have a 1958 Chevy Corvette with its owner, John Waltman. Aloha, John.
Aloha.
Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much for bringing your car in. I hear that it might be leaving the island soon, so we wanted to make sure that we covered it because it really is a special car.
Thank you.
So, Corvettes.
That's what I'm in.
That's what you're in, and that's what you like.
Yes.
And so, how many Corvettes do you have?
At this time, I have 6.
6 Corvettes?
Yes.
Wow. And they range from?
This is the oldest.
Okay.
To a 21.
Oh, nice. The C8, the newest one.
C8, new C8.
Nice,
yes.
nice. Okay. So, tell us a little bit about this car. How long have you had it?
I bought it in 2002.
Okay.
Actually, my wife.
And actually, it was a gift.
Yes.
From your wife.
For my wife. On my 58th birthday.
Nice.
Got a 58 Corvette.
Nice. And that was a surprise.
No, it wasn't a surprise.
Oh, okay.
I was looking for a C1 Corvette.
Oh, okay.
I had in mind a 57. That's the one I wanted.
Right.
And we found the 58, and we happened to have found it the same weekend as my birthday. And so that's the way it happened.
Okay, so everybody, I've had different stories on how they found their cars. Was it online?
No, it was on Auto Shopper.
Okay, so
It was a magazine back then.
Magazine.
Yeah, the Auto Shopper.
Okay, so
that's
eBay.
online now. Auto Shopper's online now.
Okay, nice.
But that was a magazine back. Yeah, I got it in a magazine. It has a picture of it and a little description of it.
So you were able to go see it before you purchased?
I did.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's always a good idea, right?
Actually, we went to see it and talked to him, and I wasn't sure I wanted it, and so we left, went and had dinner, and wife and I talked about it, and she says, if you want this car, it's not going to last for the weekend. I know that. So we turned around,
but
went back and bought it.
Was it in this condition?
No. The car originally was purchased by the U.S. ambassador to Kenya, Africa in 1958.
Wow.
In Kenya, Africa, they don't have radios. They don't need heaters. Mm-hmm. So those were all deleted from the car.
Oh, wow.
Didn't have a radio, didn't have a heater, but it's got power top. That came with it. I don't have that functioning, but
right.
But all the wires and switches are there.
Right.
And
was it white?
No, it was red on red.
Red on
original
red.
color was red on red.
And in red interior.
Red interior. That's what I mean by red.
Red on red. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was white when I got it, though. But the original color was red.
Oh, okay.
The guy that I bought it from brought it back from Kenya, Africa.
Oh.
He was a Mormon, and he went 2 years on his tour after college.
On his mission.
On his mission, yes. And he found it in the backyard of one of the houses that he visited.
Oh.
And it was all grass growing on around.
Okay.
And it cost him more to ship it back than he paid for the car.
Wow.
I don't know what he paid for it or anything
right.
like that. He gave me a piece of paper with the writing and stuff on it. And then he shipped it to Philadelphia, and then he moved to Watsonville, California, where he was a teacher at Watsonville High School.
And that's when you found it.
Yeah. He was retiring, and this was part of his retirement fund.
Oh, okay.
When I went to look at it in his garage, he had pictures of this car. He raised 2 daughters, and they were all in the homecoming queen type stuff. And the car was used for homecoming parades and stuff like that.
Okay, so this is a 58, which makes it a C1,
Yes.
right? So, but C1s went from 53 to 62.
Yes.
And then, but each year, the body style
Changed a little.
was the same, but things changed on it.
Yes.
What was the differences in 1958?
Oh, in 58, they had dual headlights. That was the most obvious thing.
That was the latest
The
change.
dual
Okay.
headlights. The 58, aside from the others, had louvered hood, chrome spheres on the trunk.
And that was the only year, right? 58?
That's correct.
Yeah.
For the louvered hood and chrome spheres. It was also the first year seat belts came standard. They weren't an option.
Right.
They came standard on the 58 Corvette. Other than that, that was about 57's when they did the fuel injection.
Right.
And they carried it over on the
But this
58.
one didn't have fuel injection.
No. When I bought the car, it had one single 4-barrel carburetor. When I did the investigation on the engine, the car came with 2 4-barrel carburetors.
Okay, so you wanted to.
So I put those back on it.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the restoration.
Okay.
How long did it take you?
It's not done.
Yeah, so it's an ongoing thing.
22 years later.
All right. But when you first got it, what did you think
Well, the
needed to be?
transmission didn't work.
Okay.
When I first got it, I had to put it in a trailer, tow it home. Because it had a power glide transmission, and it wouldn't work.
It wasn't working.
No. So I had to rebuild that first. So pulled that out, had that rebuilt. I didn't do it.
Okay, but
I had that rebuilt.
right.
And then put it back in, and that's the way. And then I drove it.
Okay, so you drove it for a while, but so
Yes.
when did you figure? Okay, now I'm going to really just restore it. New paint job, new wheels. When did all that? Did you decided to do that?
Never did make a decision like that. It was kind of an evolution.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to a better paint job, so that was my first step.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in the body shop, and I made the mistake of telling the guy that I wanted to do it that it's not an everyday driver. I don't have to have the car next week.
Right. Oh, that. So he took his time.
5 years later.
Wow. 5 years.
5 years it was in the body shop.
Wow.
And he wanted to know, do you want a frame off? And I go, no, I said the driver. I want to drive the car.
Right.
And so I don't need a frame off, but I do want a good quality body on
Right.
it. And he did do a good job of the paint and the body and everything. And so,
I would hope for 5 years.
yeah, I got it out of the body shop in 2010.
Okay.
And it was put in 05. So I drove it 3 years before
Okay.
I put it in the body shop.
I think that makes that harder when you're used to something and then you give it up for 5 years. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But it must have been nice when you got it back.
Yes, the body was good, but now the upholstery wasn't.
Right. So next phase.
Next phase, yes. And it just was a slow thing. I never planned on making a big restoration.
Mm-hmm.
But what a money pit.
Well, cars. Let's see. There's cars. There's. I hear golf. I hear boats.
Mm-hmm.
I hear all of these things cost money, and yeah, having the 30 coupe that I have, yeah, there's money in everything you want to do. There's a cost. So,
Yes.
it's depending on your passion and your love for that thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm still making changes. Even after I've shipped it over here, still making changes over here
Right.
to it.
Now you've done some modifications that in 58 or any year they would never have, like your third brake light. Tell us
Yes.
about that.
Okay, that was really Dan's idea.
Yeah.
But the trunk and the front both have Corvette emblems on them.
Right.
And these happen to be clear plastic on the top of it. So we put an LED circle in it to make it a third brake light.
And that
And
must
it made it
that's
so
nice.
it flashes first and then then stays on.
Right.
Um,
Anything else that that wouldn't have been on a 58?
Well, but we changed the headlights to include daytime running lights,
Okay.
and other than that, they're high and low beam type things. I took the two 4-barrel carburetors off and put Phytech 2 throttle body and fuel injections on it.
Right.
Still looks like 4-barrel carburetor,
Right. But it's fuel injection.
but it's fuel injection.
Nice. And you get a lot better performance out of that.
Yes, fuel injection is a better, more easier to tune and stuff.
Mhm.
And You also don't have float bowls sitting there evaporating gas in your garage.
Yeah.
Two of them.
So basically, this car is a 58, but it's been modernized for regular driving, nowadays, like more
Yeah.
standard suspension.
Yeah, I put a Mustang 2 front end,
Okay.
rack and pinion with disc brakes and power steering. Now the power steering is different too because I used a Toyota Prius electric power steering
Right.
pump, and the brake master cylinder was inside the firewall, so that you couldn't put the big vacuum booster on.
Yeah, the power booster.
So I went with a hydro assist. So the electric hydraulic pump that came from the Prius that worked the power steering also works the brakes. So I have a hydro assist brakes and hydro power steering.
So that it's safer. It's safer for you to drive.
Yeah, it's easier to drive
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Yes, it
and
is.
and the thing is, like we always talk about, is driving the car, not
Yes,
letting it sit
That's right.
and just enjoying it and letting the community enjoy it
Yes.
by seeing something that you rarely see. I mean, these are beautiful cars, and there are a lot of Corvettes, but they're not always driven.
That's
They're
true.
they're trailered or they're brought to shows, and you get to see them once every, who knows, sometimes once a year.
Yeah.
But you get out and you drive it.
When I can, yes.
Yeah. And when you're here, you go to the car club meetings, the breakfasts, and
Yep.
cars and coffee, and yep.
Sure do.
That's the
Love
way.
it.
Yeah.
That's a lifestyle.
Yes.
It is. It's
Yes.
a lifestyle.
Car community is a good community.
It
There's
sure
good people.
is. It sure been that way. Actually, you want me to tell you how I got to Corvette?
Sure.
When my wife was 16, her parents bought her a Ford that was an old AT&T car, and it was that olive green four-door sedan. That's what she had as a teenager.
Wow.
When she got out of high school, got her own job, she wanted to buy her a car that she liked.
Right.
She found a '62 Corvette that she wanted to buy, and her dad wouldn't let her buy it. And I don't know if you.
So she got you into the Corvettes.
Yes, well, actually, I was dirt bike riding at the time.
Okay.
And I had a Ford van, and I wanted to get one that had a bed in it and a sink I could clean up in and stuff like that. And so I was going to buy a new van, and she said I wanted a Corvette, and so
And there it began.
yeah,
Thank you, John. I think the only thing left now is to take a ride.
sure, I'll be glad to.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so
What I
much.
built it for.
Yes, thank you so much for coming today and for sharing this awesome classic car. The 1958 Chevrolet Corvette is a standout model in the first generation C1 Corvette lineup. Known for its bold styling, increased chrome detailing, and enhanced performance. This model year marked a significant design shift, incorporating distinctive quad headlights, a prominent grille, and decorative chrome spears running along the trunk. The 1958 Corvette was powered by a 283 cubic inch 4.6 liter V8, which came in multiple configurations, ranging from 230 horsepower to a fuel-injected version producing up to 290 horsepower. Today, the 1958 Corvette is highly collectible due to its unique one-year-only styling cues. The 1958 Chevrolet Corvette is a true classic, embodying the flamboyant styling of the late 50s while delivering thrilling V8 performance. It remains an icon of American automotive history and a sought-after gem for collectors. There you have it. Another episode of Classic Car Chronicles, story behind the ride in the books. Till next time, aloha.